And I don't know about you, but a lot of other folks in New Thought and spiritual folks, we kind of let go of the resolutions, and sometimes we do intentions, and then we also might go like, well, intentions might be a little too much pressure, so we will sit in affirmations, and affirmations tend to be more a declaration from the divine truth of who we are, and I love affirmations for that reason. What often happens sometimes, though, is with the resolutions, with the intentions, and even with the affirmations, what tends to follow are expectations. So we might affirm the true abundance of who we are. We might affirm the true wholeness of who we are. We might affirm the embodiment of the divine love that we are. And then what do we do after that? We start looking, right? We start looking for when these things are going to show up. And then often we start going, I would love if they show up in this way. So if we are holding affirmations for abundance, we like, yeah, I wish it would show up in a new job or a raise, or, we start attaching expectations to the deepest desires of our heart and the affirmations. And when I say expectations, what I mean is we start to define how we want the thing to look. We want to define and say, I'm affirming this and I want it to look this way. And a lot of times we don't do it consciously. But it happens. And there's this idea called the tyranny of expectations. When we start holding expectations and we start holding on to, an attachment to how a thing should look, then what we do is we open up ourselves to a doorway of suffering, but then we also limit ourselves. Okay. So when we have an expectation or an attachment for something that is yet to come, what we've done is we've pulled ourselves out of the present, and we've kind of split ourselves into both the past and the future. A lot of our expectations come up because we don't want a past experience to happen again, or we want something different from our past experience. And therefore we project into the future what we want to happen. So we're no longer in the present. Okay. Past, future, we kind of split between the two. We're no longer here, grounded in the present. When we affirm abundance, but then have an expectation of how that abundance should look, we've also just limited ourselves